Hello dear student, welcome to 5th class of our international relation. Today we are going to discuss about few important topics. So dear student, we have already covered four classes on the international relation. You can watch that. And dear student, before making this video, I've gone through all the material that is available in the market. I have collected that and do some value addition also. I have added a lot of maps because international relation they are asking a lot of map based question, a lot of international organization. So I've already given in detail of that, so please go through it and you'll get a lot of insight and get direct question from that only. Okay, चलिए start करते हैं. So first we are going to see about international organization for marine aid to the navigation, so that is IALA. So India participated second session of the IALA council as a vice president in Nice, France. So this can be a very good question. Recently the this second session of the IALA, International Organization Act to the Navigation, Maritime Navigation, is held in which locations? Okay, so this can be a very good question. And third IALA General Assembly is going to be already held in December 2025 in India. And 21st IALA conference in 2027 is going to be held in Mumbai, Maharashtra. So this can be a good question also. So they can ask about 21st IALA conference is going to be held in which location of India, or they can say this is going to be held in Delhi. So this kind of question they can ask. So you have to have idea. So let's see about IALA. What are the role of IALA? So it was established in 1957 as an NGO, non-governmental organization, as International Association of Marine Art to the Navigation and Lighthouse Authority. So what is the full form of IALA? International Association of Marine Art to the Navigation and Lighthouse Authority. So in 2004, IALA became international organization. So this can be also good question. In 2014, it is became an international organization to strengthen global role in maritime safety. Basic role is to ensure safety in the maritime. So purpose is to foster safe, economic and efficient movement of vessels. Vessels means ship. And through improvement and harmonization of art to the navigation worldwide. Because whenever a vessel is moving in the ocean, so they need a lot of guidance, support, protect from the piracy. So a lot of lighthouse guidance is needed. So that is the basic aim of to ensure smooth travel of all the ships. Okay. So next, the purpose to foster safe, economic and efficient movement of vessels through improvement and harmonize add to the navigation worldwide. So mandate, what are the mandate of this IALA organization? Harmonize global maritime navigation system, promote maritime safety initiative, collaborate with member states and international organizations to address emerging challenges in maritime safety and environmental protection. So this can be a very good question also. So they can ask about what are the objective of IALA. So these are the objective of IALA. So if you just read this question, you can able to eliminate that. Na? Okay. So for your prelims, this is also important. Just go through it and have basic idea so that you can eliminate the options. So next is USA pull funding from the Gavi. So what is the full form? What is the full form of Gavi? The Vaccine Alliance. So Gavi basically aims to promote vaccine at the international level. So I think there are a lot of vaccine that is being promoted at low cost in the developing country, poor country by the Gavi. So why USA is pulling out, not providing funding? Because USA accused the Gavi along with World Health Organization of silencing dissenting view and legitimate question about vaccine safety. So USA accused that Gavi and WHO they silent if anyone question about the safety of the vaccines. So USA has long been one of the biggest supporter of Gavi. So if you look into historical funding provided by USA provide largest funding to the vaccine alliance, that is the Gavi. So let's see something about Gavi. What are the role played by the Gavi? So nature, there it is a public-private partnership. So this can be a very good question. So they can ask about how AB is function, Gavi is functioning. So there can be option that Gavi is solely functioned by fully funded by the government organization. Second, it can send it is fully by the private. No, it is PPP, public-private partnership. So core partner, the World Health Organization, UNICEF. So United Nations Children Emergency Fund, then World Bank, then Gate Foundation. So Gate Foundation, Bill Gates play important role in supporting the Gavi. So mission is to save life, protect people health by increasing equitable and sustainable use of vaccines. So I think you already know because of vaccine we have eliminated so many diseases at the world level. Even India is able to eliminate the polio because of the vaccine, polio vaccine. So a role of Gavi is very important in that. So it achieve what are the achievement of Gavi? It vaccinated 1 billion children across the poorest country. Already it is vaccinated 1 billion. That means 100 crore children. So global role, member of the WHO Vaccine Safety Net project. So secretariat kahan hai? Its secretary is located in the Switzerland. Geneva and Switzerland. Okay, so this can be a good question also. So recently we have seen USA is withdrawing key global organization, global multilateral organizations such as WHO, Paris Climate Agreement, UN Human Rights Council, and UNRWA. So if USA is withdrawing so many global organization, international multilateral organizations, so there is going to have big impact. So what are the impact? So first one is about weakening of the multilateralism rule-based order. Now, yes, if US is withdrawing from organization, it is not going to follow any order, international rules, laws, regulation. That is what led to the more chaos. Now. So we can say Israel, for example, Israel withdraw participation from the UN Human Rights Council. So next is undermine climate action. Now, so if you look into emission, US is the second largest greenhouse gas emitter as current level after China. So if USA is not following Paris Agreement, so we are not going to achieve the Paris target of limiting our climate change temperature to below 2 degrees Celsius. Na? So next is shortage of the fund for the health. USA provides significant amount of funding for the World Health Organization. If USA is not providing funding, there will be shortage. Na? So USA funded about 15% of the World Health Organization total funding. So definitely WHO will have shortage of the funding, and that is what impact our health outcome at the international level. Other, it create a leadership vacuum that can be filled by China. It may reduce India's influence in the global organization decision making. So if USA is withdrawing all the international organizations, so that create a vacuum. That vacuum may occupy by the China, which is detrimental for the Indian interest, because we are we want more influence and we want to reduce the Chinese influence, but Chinese influence is increasing because USA is withdrawing. Okay, so that is the impact. So this can be a very good question also. They can ask about recently USA is withdrawing from all multilateral organizations, so what are the impact of that? So it can be like any of the four. In mains also they can ask a good question. Recently USA is withdrawing from all multilateral organizations, so what are the impact of that withdrawal on the India? So this 4 point you can write in the answer. Okay, आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is International Organization for Mediation. So IOMED, International Organization for Mediation. So China formally established International Organization of Mediation as a global alternative to the traditional institutions such as International Court of Justice and Permanent Court of Arbitration. China want to establish institution that is being led by the China. So that is what starting off this. Na? So about the IOMED, so purpose is to dedicated to resolve international dispute through mediation. China want to act as a leader resolving international disputes. So over 330 countries joined as a founding member, including Indonesia, Pakistan, and Belarus. Most founding members are from Asia, Africa, and Caribbean, highlighting non-Western orientation. So I think all these non-Western countries, they need a lot of funding. They need a lot of, they are a lot of facing developmental goal. China use funding and their leverage as a way of promoting its interest. Na? The scope dispute between the state and nationals of another country, international commercial dispute agreement that can be settled in this International Organization for Maritime Dispute. So here this can be a question: what are the objective of IOMED? So dispute between the states, that means one country with another country, between states and nationals of another country. For example, let's say country of Indonesia, a person of Indonesian and with China, there is a conflict that can be resolved here also. Okay, so please read it very thoroughly. So this can be a very good question, because in past also UPSC asked a lot of questions from this newly formed organization and their headquarter, all these things. So next important topics is UN India Global Capacity Building Initiative. So UN India Global Capacity Building Initiative. India launched project with UN under Global Capacity Building Initiative for Asia, Africa, and Caribbean country. So Caribbean country, I think you already know, they are located in the south of the America, like in Caribbean Sea. About the Global Capacity Building Initiative, so Genesis means origin, launched by India and in UN in the September 2023. So objective, what are the objectives? Share India's developmental experience and expertise in the global South through capacity building training to accelerate sustainable development goal. If you look into, India has achieved a lot of development in the last 2 decades. So we have a lot of experience. For example, digital technology, education, e-health. So we can provide that to all this developing country. So implementation via sustainable, UN India SDG country fund and Indian technical and economic cooperation program. ITEC program, India development, this ITEC, Indian Technical and Economic Program, we are generally providing the capacity building program. For example, training of police, We are providing education, we are providing training of their civil servant, we are providing skill training, we are providing agricultural help to all these developing countries. So this is what called Indian technical and economic cooperation. Along with UN India SDG country fund, so these are going to be help in implementation of this initiative. Okay, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is USA decided to pull out of the UNESCO. So recently we have seen USA is withdrawing a lot of international organizations, so they have decided to pull out of the UNESCO also. So this can be a very good question. They can ask about recently which country withdraw from the UNESCO. Okay, so the withdrawal was announced due to agency support from the yoke, divisive cause and anti-Israel bias. So USA accused that UNESCO is acting against the Israel interests. So that is the reason they are withdrawing. This is third USA exit from the UNESCO and second under the current leadership. Like second time Donald Trump exit from the UNESCO. USA also moved to leave the UN body like World Health Organization, cut funding to the UN relief work agency for Palestine also. So USA relief work agency in Palestine also play important role in improving lives of Palestinians. They also cut funding there. So let's see something about UNESCO. Already UPSC asked a lot of questions regarding UNESCO. So please read it very carefully. UN Specialized Agency. So it is a specialized agency of UNA promoting peace through education, science and culture. So headquarters is located in the Paris. So remember, it is not located in Switzerland, it is in Paris. So membership is 194 country and 12 associate members. So some key initiatives started by the UNESCO. So they are, Global Education Monitoring Report. So this can be a very good question. Global Education Monitoring Report is published by which organization? So you should know about that. Okay. Next is World Heritage Site. I think you already know UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay. So next is World Trend in Freedom of Expression and Media Development. This is also published by UNESCO. So a Man and Biosphere program is also run by the UNESCO also. So they can ask about 4 or 5 listing the initiative taken by the UNESCO, and they consider the following statement, and they'll give 5 6 initiative. Then they'll ask about how many above are initiative taken by the UNESCO. This can be a good question in your examination. Okay, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So impact of USA withdrawal. So what kind of impact is going to have if USA is withdrawing from the UNESCO? So USA give 8% of the budget of UNESCO. Already we have seen 15% of the budget of the WHO also. So geopolitics withdraw may boost influence of power like China. So if USA is withdrawing at the international level, that create a political vacuum, and that political vacuum is going to occupy by the China, and it is detrimental for the India's interest. So next is multilateralism. So leaving UN body could weaken trust in the global cooperation. Just imagine if a big country is not obeying any UN law, international law, so then no one going to trust this organization. Okay? So that is what led to the weakening of the international norms, multilateralism. Okay, chaliye. So next we are going to discuss about the Intermediate Range Nuclear Force Treaty. So INF Treaty. This is what called INF Treaty. So Russia ended its commitment to 1987 INF Treaty, citing recent USA moves including nuclear submarine repositioning and Typhoon missile deployment in the Philippines. So recently Russia ने क्या किया, वो withdraw कर लिया INF Treaty से, because Russia is saying that US is deploying, repositioning its nuclear submarine and deploy its Typhoon missile in the Philippines. So this INF Treaty play very important role in controlling the nuclear proliferation and deployment of the missile. If both countries are withdrawing, so there is high chances of nuclear proliferation and war also. So about the INF Treaty signed between USA and Soviet Union in 1987, mandating destruction of ground-based ballistic missile. The mandate is to destruct all the ground-based ballistic and cruise missile range 500 to 5,500 kilometers. First major treaty reducing nuclear arsenal, eliminating weapon class, allowing on-site inspection. So this is the first major treaty that reduced the nuclear arsenal, means nuclear weapons, and eliminating weapon class, allowing on-site inspection. It allows USA to inspect the Russian site, Russia to inspect the USA site. Weakening after USA withdrawal in 2019. So after this is what happened in 2019, USA also withdrew from the INF Treaty. So that left Russia also recently withdraw it. So implication of nuclear arm control. So breakdown of the arm control framework. Because of this INF Treaty, both countries are obligations to reduce their or restrict their nuclear arm. Now there is no restriction, so they can go on proliferation, eroding trust and stalling nuclear disarmament effort. So accelerated nuclear modernization by major power. So now there is no restriction. USA will improve its nuclear arsenal. Russia will improve. Everyone includes. That is what led to the nuclear race. Everyone want to build nuclear energy. Na? So revival of the Cold War Iran missile crisis fear in the Europe. So if Russia is developing, modernizing its nuclear arsenal, so Europe is fear of Russia. So they'll also modernize. So that is what led to the increasing in the nuclear weapons, nuclear energy, nuclear, weapon or proliferation of nuclear weapon. Na? So increased security risks, so rapid response weapon and rising chance of accidental nuclear conflict. So if there is a miscalculation, for example, if there is a bomber, nuclear bomber is Russian nuclear bomber is flying somewhere, so maybe Europe miscalculated and fired something. That is what led to the starting of the World War III also. World War One, World War II started because of this miscalculation also. So this is what the risk of withdrawing from the INF treaty. So next is key nuclear arm control agreement. So few arm control agreement that is being signed between USA and Russia. So we are going to see even a major country. So treaty on non-proliferation of the nuclear weapon. So that means this treaty basically aims to control the spread of nuclear weapon from one country to the another country. So dear student, tell me whether India is signatory to the NPT or not. Whether India signed non-proliferation treaty or not. So the enter into force in 1970, it aimed at preventing spread of nuclear weapon and weapon technology. So next, strategic offensive reduction treaty. So in 2002, USA-Russia bilateral agreement limiting strategic nuclear warhead. So this basically aims to reduce the strategic warhead. So new strategic arm reduction treaty in 2010 bilateral agreement between USA and Russia significantly limiting strategic arms. Okay. So treaty on prohibition of nuclear weapon adopted at UNA in 2017 prohibit participating in nuclear weapon activity. So treaty on prohibition of nuclear weapon basically aim to prohibit nuclear weapon development. Okay, so these are few nuclear arm control treaty that is being signed by multiple country, but India is not signatory to the NPT. India is not signatory to the treaty on prohibition of nuclear weapons. So please remember this point. Okay, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is Jangejur corridor. So Turkey urged the Armenia and Azerbaijan to open Jangejur corridor amid ongoing conflict between the Karabakh Nagorno region. So this is very important. The UPSC can ask about question. The Karabakh Nagorno region recently seen in news related to which region. They can ask about Jangejur corridor recently seen in news related to what. So you have to map that location, and it is located between which two sea, which two region. Okay? So it is a region that is internationally part of the Azerbaijan, but inhabited mainly by the Armenian. It is located in the Azerbaijan, but majority of the population are Armenian population. Remember, and India is having very good relation with Armenia. Okay? So about Jangejur corridor, so located in 43 kilometer transport route through Armenia, Sunik provinces. No need to know all this name. Just remember that at which location. So they're basically planning to connecting I'm just showing the map. I think it is here. It is not here. I'm just bringing the map. Yes, this is the corridor. You can see here. So they want Azerbaijan wants to connect this with their these regions. They want to connect this with Baku. Baku is located in the capital of the Azerbaijan, located in Caspian Sea. So this is Jangejur corridor. Please, in international relation, whenever you find any location, please find a map and map it. Okay, so that is going to be very helpful. So objective connecting the Azerbaijan Baku port. Here is the Baku port in Caspian Sea to the Nakhchivan autonomous region and further to the Turkey. You can see about Nakhchivan. I don't know about the pronunciation. So from here again to the Turkey. So they want to connect. That is the reason they want. Okay, so if the Jangejur corridor is implemented, so how it is going to impact India? It can undermine India's investment in Chawar port. So we have invested heavily Chawar port in Iran region and international north-south transport corridor, offering and competing pathway, reducing India's regional influence. If this corridor is going to be there, so it increase the Turkey influence, and Turkey always oppose India on major international issues. So that is what led to the reduction of India's influence in this region. Okay, so please map all this region. Understand this, Jangejur corridor and Karabakh Nagorno region. So all these things, and Baku is the capital of Azerbaijan and Caspian Sea. So this can be a very good question. They can ask you my best question from here. Okay. आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is Armenia and Azerbaijan peace agreement broke by the United States. So already we know that the Armenia and Azerbaijan, they're fighting in Karabakh Nagorno region for quite long time, and USA recently found a peace treaty. So the deal aimed to bring to an end decades of the conflict between South Caucasus countries. Keep provision of the deal, so cessation of the hostility. Both Armenia and Azerbaijan agreed to end their conflict and establish diplomatic relations. So they will end their conflict and maintain good relations. So they'll establish strong route for international peace and prosperity. Transit route linking Azerbaijan to its exclave Nakhchivan through Armenia, with USA having exclusive developmental right. This is what called Nakhchivan. Okay, so this is part of the Azerbaijan, but it is surrounded by Armenia. So they want a corridor to connect this region. Na? So US cooperation deal. So a separate USA agreement on both on energy, technology, and economic cooperation. If both follow peace deal and have good relation and establish the Trump route for international peace and prosperity, then US will provide developmental aid. That is what led to the development of both Armenia and Azerbaijan. Okay? So ground of their conflict, why the Armenia and Azerbaijan they are fighting? Because of Karabakh Nagorno dispute mountain region. So this Karabakh Nagorno region is located inside the Azerbaijan. You can see here, this is the Karabakh Nagorno. It is located within the Azerbaijan, but majority of their population are Armenian populations. Okay? So that is what led to the conflict. So India's interest, India support peace deal as achievement in dialogue and diplomacy. India always support that all the disputes should be solved through peaceful negotiation and dialogue. So Armenia is India's India's friendship and cooperation treaty partner. So we have very good relation with Armenia. So our Azerbaijan lies on the international north-south transport corridor connecting India with Russia by Central Asia. So on the other hand, Azerbaijan is also important partner, but we don't have that much good relation. But Azerbaijan is part of our international north-south transport corridor. UPSC is already asked this question in 2025. So international north-south transport corridor. So whenever this kind of connectivity project, any new project, you should map it and understand the location. Okay. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is M23 rebels. So Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda-backed M23 rebels agreed to a permanent ceasefire in Eastern Congo. So you have to remember this, location of this Democratic Republic of Congo, Rwanda. So you need to remember M23 rebels. So mainly ethnic Tutsis fighting Congolese force in mineral rich of Eastern Democratic, Republic of Congo, named after 2009 accord, date back to the CNDC to this led Congolese government. So nowadays UPSC are asking a lot of questions from the Africa. So please be careful about all these names, locations. Formed in 2012 by the CNDP member, protesting failed accord implementation and minority protection and fair resource sharing. Okay, so just have few amount of idea, and please map this location, Democratic Republic of Congo, and their map location, few geographical features. So that is going to be very helpful. Chali. So next important question, UPSC is also asking multiple question on the index. So one such is Global Peace Index. Even state PCs is also asking this index. So 19th Global Peace Index released by Institute for Economy and Peace. So they ask about, this index is published by which institution and what are the finding, which country on the top, India rank. So all these things they can ask, and what are the parameters they use on the ranking also. It cover 163 states and territory, uses 23 indicator in 3 areas, societal safety and security. So they use one criteria as societal safety and security, ongoing domestic and international conflict, degree of militarization. So next is key finding. What are the finding? Global peacefulness overall decline. That means, overall at the international level, global peacefulness is declining. South Asia, second least peaceful region, so largest drop. So South Asian region is, showing violence and decrease of the peacefulness. Iceland is the first peaceful country, and India rank is 115. Russia is 163 ranked. Please remember this thing. So this can be a very good question in UPSC. So next is International Criminal Court. So I think you know that at the international level, we are having 3 international court. One is about ICJ, International Court of Justice. Second one is about Permanent Court of Arbitration. And third one is about the International Criminal Court, ICC. So International Criminal Court welcome Ukraine as a 125th state party to the Rome Statute. So this can be a very good question. They can ask about recently which country joined as a 125th member of the International Criminal Court. It is the Ukraine. So let's see something about International Criminal Court. So first permanent international court of prosecution that prosecute Genocide. Genocide means killing large amount of people, war crime, and crime against humanity and aggression. So they basically, the International Criminal Code basically deals with the genocide, war crime, crime against humanity, and aggression. So this is established by the Rome Statute. So this ICC is established by the Rome Statute, adopted in 1998, effective in 2002. And remember that India is not party to this ICC, but we are party. We are the member of International Criminal Court, ICJ, International Court of Justice, and Permanent Court of Arbitration. India is part of International Criminal Court of Justice, International Court of Justice, and Permanent Court of Arbitration, but we are not part of ICC, International Criminal Court. We have not joined it. Okay. Where is the headquarter? All the three international court, the headquarter is same location, Hague in the Netherlands. So International Court of Justice, Permanent Court of Arbitration, International Criminal Court, their headquarter is Netherlands in Hague. Okay. Hope everything is clear. So let's see next important topic, pact for the future. So India reaffirmed its commitment to the pact for the future at the UN dialogue. So about pact for the future, adopted in 2014, summit for the future. So what are the objective? It include global digital compact, first comprehensive digital cooperation framework. So that means we can cooperate with other country to share our experience. For example, we are having a lot of experience in UPI, Aadhaar card, so we can share with the developing country. Declaration on future generation. So features, so clear commitment on human right, gender, and sustainable development. So key area of commitment: sustainable development and financing, international peace and security, science, technology, digital cooperation, youth, future generation, transforming global governance. Okay, chaliye, let's see about the next important topic. So E3 countries. So I think Iran threatened with the snapback sanction by E3 countries amidst all US-Iran nuclear talks. So recently, USA pulled back from the JCPOA and threatened to impose new sanction. And Iran said that if E3 country, that is the E5, that is UK, France, and German. So they are called E3 country. If E3 countries support, then Iran will sanction back. Okay. So snapback sanction under the 2015 JCPOA joint comprehensive plan of action. What happened, in 2005, there is a joint comprehensive plan of action that is signed between permanent member of the UNSC plus German with the Iran, so that Iran will reduce its nuclear program in return for they'll remove the sanction. Okay. So allowing, but after Donald Trump coming into power, Donald Trump abolish all the JCPOA and reimpose the sanction. That is what led to the bad relation. So and recently, what happened? I think you already know that USA strike and want to reimpose the sanction on the Iran. So Iran threatened that if the European country like UK, France, and German, they're not, if they impose sanction, then Iran will take the retaliation action. Okay. So about E3 countries, so informal security cooperation between UK, German, and France. So if there is a question, who are the member of which countries are member of the E3? So they are UK, German, and France. So name after US. So they are formed after US attack in the Iran in 2003 to coordinate Iraq strategy and manage Iran nuclear risk. So this can be a very good question. So they can give a statement: E3 is formed after which incident? So it is after USA attacked the Iraq in 2003, and how to deal with Iran nuclear program also. Okay. Please read this very carefully. So this can be a very good question. So next is Eurasian Economic Union. So why it is in news? So India and Eurasian Economic Union signed terms of reference, formally starting the free trade negotiations to build a long-term trade cooperation framework. So we want to build a long-term free trade cooperation with Eurasian Union. So about Eurasian Union, so International Economic Integration Organization, just a second. So created by the Treaty of Eurasian Economic Union. So enable free movement of goods, service, capital, and labor. So Eurasian Economic Union, they basically aims to ensure free movement of goods, service, capital, and labor. So potential benefit of free trade agreement if India sign with the Eurasian Economic Union. So definitely economic benefit. It will boost our economy, boost our trade. Okay. So we have already having trade relation 69 billion. So market access for Indian export and US, because currently already US is imposing high tariff. So it will provide a market access. We will diversify our market, enhance competitiveness because it will reduce our tariff. So now we are having import duty they impose on our product. So that will reduce. So it is led to the more market access for the Indian goods. Then energy partner will import more oil, more cooperation with Russia also. So strategic benefits, strengthening Indian multi-alignment policy with Russian-led blocs. So if we are having multiple blocks, it will give more leverage at the international level. Okay. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, एशिया पैसिफिक इंस्टीट्यूट फॉर ब्रॉडकास्टिंग डेवलपमेंट. So Asia Pacific Institute for Broadcasting and Development. India has been elected as a chairman of the executive board of AIDB 23rd General Conference in Thailand. So this can be a very good question. So India elected as a chairman of the executive board of Asia Pacific Institute for Broadcasting Development. Okay. So Asia Pacific Institute for Broadcasting Development, it is founded in 1977 by UNESCO. So unique regional intergovernmental organization. Headquarters is Kuala Lumpur. So mandate is to achieve vibrant, cohesive electronic media environment in Asia Pacific, 92 organization and 45 countries. India is a founding member of AIDB. Prasar Bharati of India is public service broadcaster, represent Ministry of Information and Broadcasting organization. So this can be, this point is very important, and they can ask about few things about, about Asia Pacific Institute for Broadcasting and Development. Consider the following statement regarding Asia Pacific Institute for Broadcasting and Development. Please read it very carefully. देखो, UPSC can ask any question. So please, while reading, if you're going through one or twice, you are revise this topic, you can able to eliminate the option. So that is what helpful. So please read it very carefully. So next is Henley Passport Index. So India Henley Passport Index rank improve 85 to 77. So that means, our value of passport is increasing. Indians can visit 59 destination visa free or visa on arrival. So you can visit without visa or you can get the visa on the arrival. So about Henley Passport Index, so authoritative ranking of the passport by visa-free country. So it is published by International Air Transport Association data. So this is published on the basis of International Air Transport data. They use that to publish it. So Singapore is the rank first. So they can ask about, how the Henley Passport Index is published, what is the rank of India, which country is at the top list. So please go through it, you'll understand. So next is New Caledonia. So French agreed to give New Caledonia more autonomy. France, it is the overseas territory of France. So French recently agreed to give more autonomy. So the agreement created states of New Caledonia within France, granting more freedom but no independence. They will give more autonomy but not freedom. You can see about the Caledonia. It is located on the eastern side of the Australia. Mapping is very important, so they can ask about the location also. If you have a fair amount of idea, you can eliminate and correct it. About New Caledonia, it's a French overseas territory in Pacific Ocean. So history, the islander enslaved in 1840, annexed by the French in 1853. So what are the issue currently? Why there is a tension going on? Division between the indigenous Kanak and European over independence. So there is a dispute, those who are European, they want it should be the overseas territory of the French, and though the local people, they are indigenous people, their name is Kanak, they want independence. So that is what led to all these classes. Okay, please read it very carefully. I've seen a lot of questions they ask from this conflict and the incident current affair that is going on. So next is about the Red Sea. Red Sea cargo ship attack and Houthi claim sinking vessels. So a lot of ships are sinking in this Red Sea because of Houthi attack. So that is what led to the very important. So you can see Red Sea is connecting Indian Oceans through Gulf of Aden. Okay, this is called Bab el-Mandeb Strait. Okay, so this is Persian Gulf. This is Strait of Hormuz. This is Suez Canals. Okay, this is Mediterranean Sea. So it is very important because Red Sea, lot of oil tankers, India's most of the trades are going there. Okay. So about the Red Sea, it's a marginal sea in northwestern Indian Ocean. It connect Gulf of Aden via Bab el-Mandeb. This is called Bab el-Mandeb. I think already it is written. You can see here Bab el-Mandeb Strait. Okay, so via Bab el-Mandeb and Mediterranean Sea via Suez Canal. So you can see about it connecting. Red Sea is connecting with Mediterranean Sea, so the Suez Canal. So this region here, this region is called Gulf of Aqaba. So this is Gulf of Aqaba. This is Gulf of Aqaba. It is providing access to the both Israel and Jordan. This region is called Gulf of Aqaba. So please do mapping of all these things because a lot of question nowadays they're asking from the mapping based. Okay, so bordering country. So please remember that bordering country also because UPSC is asking a lot of questions which country are having border with the Red Sea. They can be asked. It is with Egypt, Sudan, Eritrea, Israel, Jordan. They go north via Gulf of Aqaba. So both Israel and Jordan connect to the Red Sea through the Gulf of Aqaba. Then Saudi Arabia and Yemen. So northern part split into Gulf of Suez and Gulf of Aqaba. That means northern part, this portion is split into two parts. This is Gulf of Suez, Gulf of Aqaba. ठीक है, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So one of the saline sea, it is receive very little precipitation in any form, and no water enter into the Red Sea from river. So this is also asked in previous year question also. Okay, so no water enter into the Red Sea from the river. There is no river that drained water into the Red Sea. This question is asked in the UPSC already. So please read it very carefully. So mapped based question is very important for your examination. So next is conflicting area in the news. So Gaza Strip, I think already know Israel-Palestine conflict is going on. So because of that, Gaza Strip is very important. So this name is very important. Rafah, Khan Yunis, Deir al-Ballah, then Magaji, then Nusret, Bureji, Sati, Jabalia. Okay. So UN declared famine in August 2025 due to Israel blockade and restriction add to the Hamas attack. So because of this attack, so this region is facing a lot of hunger. So UPSC, they will ask, the Rafah, Khan Yunis, so Deir al-Bala, Nusret, Magzai, then Bureji, so Sati, Jabalia. So they say this region are recently seen in news located in which region of the world. So they can ask about Middle East, African region, Latin American region. So this kind of question already asked in previous year also. So key feature, 500,000 people are starvation risk with worsening food insecurity across the strip, small, densely populated coastal strip along the Mediterranean, and 2.2 million peoples bordering Israel and Egypt. So I am just showing here. So this region, if you just look, this portion is called Gaza Strip. Okay, so this, whatever we are reading, this portion is called Gaza Strip. You can see here. So this shape, so a lot of this region are facing hunger, malnutrition because of Israel-Palestine conflict, and Israel is being blocked, not allowing any food to enter in this region. Okay, so next is Sudan. So recently there is also conflict going on in Sudan also. So few region of the Sudan: Darfur, Khartoum, South Kordofan, and Blue Nile states. So you can just map here. So this is Darfur, South Kordofan, the Blue Nile states. Okay, so what happened? The Sudan recently entered into civil war since 2023 due to conflict between Sudan army and RFS paramilitary group. So all this African region, they are not having proper institution, military institution, democracy. So because of that, lot of rebel conflict is going on. So because of that, they are quite news. And UPSC picked this news and they asked question. In past year, multiple question you are getting from the African region. So the northeastern African country, third largest in the Africa. You can see here. This is the northeastern African country. This is third largest country of the Africa, bordering between Egypt and Red Sea. So the Nile River. So this can be a very good question. So Nile River passing through both the Nile, White Nile and Blue Nile is passing through the Sudan. Okay, so this can be a very good question. So please read some physical feature. Just you can just type about Sudan and some important physical feature. Just go through 1 or 2 minutes. You'll have a lot of idea and note down. So this can be a very good question in your examination. So next is Ukraine. So I think few reason of Ukraine because of Russia-Ukraine conflict. Few reason are very important. So they are Kiev, Donetsk, Zaporizhia, then Cherkasky, then Chernihiv, then. So you can see about few region: Luhansk, Donetsk, Zaporizhia, Kherson. So all these regions are very important because in past also they have given this name and they are asking this region is located which part of the world also. Okay, so please read it very carefully. So facing severe humanitarian crisis amid continuing Russian missile and drone attacks. Okay, so if you look, they are Eastern European country bordering by the Russia and Black Sea. So the Dnieper River run through the Kiev. So if you look into, this is the Dnieper River. So this is run through the Ukraine or Kiev. Okay. So they can ask about Dnieper River is flowing through which region also. Please go through, because if it is conflict, then all the geography of that is important. They can ask this question in geography, but it is inspired from the international relation. If you are not referring this current affair, in that case, it is very difficult for you to answer. Okay. So next is Democratic Republic of Congo, Northern Kivu and Ituri provinces. So enduring repeated war due to ethnic conflict, weak governance and mineral wealth competition. So all these African countries, they are rich in terms of minerals, but they lack democracy, stable government. So that is what led to the repeated coup, military fight. So that is what very important. So enduring repeated war due to ethnic conflict, weak governance, and mineral wealth competition. So key features: Central African country, second largest in Africa, rich in terms of minerals like cobalt, copper, and gold. So Democratic Republic Congo is rich in terms of minerals, cobalt, copper, and gold. Okay. So content: Africa second longest river, Congo Basin. So second, this can be a very good question. Congo River is the first largest river, third largest river. This kind of question can ask, so that it can easily fool the student. Okay. It is the second largest river and second largest tropical rainforest also found in the Congo region, Congo Basin also. Okay. So dear student, please go through all this, mapped based question, do proper mapping, go through all this physical feature. This is going to be very important. So you can see South Kivu, North Kivu, Ituri. So this is the region of Democratic Republic of Congo with capital is Kinshasa. So this is very important for your examination, whatever we have discussed today. So dear student, if you find this video is very helpful, please like and share this video with your friend. And if you want to give any feedback regarding the classes, you are always welcome. Please do give feedback. Your feedback are very important for modifying the classes. That is going to be benefit for you. So dear student, we'll end our discussion here. Chaliye, bye bye, take care, have a good day, bye.